What's going on, everybody? It's the Monster Man coming back to you. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Katana by IJOY. So without further ado, let's dive down and take a closer look at this little mamma jamba. And we'll bring it back up top and I'll give you my opinion. Alrighty, folks. Here we have the Katana by IJOY. From the box, kind of like that design of that samurai. Another samurai on this side. All the information that is included in this box on the back: scratch off authenticity code, color of the device. I got the mirror stainless steel. So when you open the box, this is what you're going to see up front. You got your Katana mod, Katana sub-ohm tank, and the replacement glass for the tank. So let's actually take the mod out first. Here's a look at the mod. Pretty nice finish. It said mirror finish there on the back, but this is more of a brushed stainless. Still looks nice though. I actually kind of like this better than high gloss stainless steel. Set off to the side for right now, and let's take a look at the tank, shall we? Here's a look at the Katana sub-ohm tank. Here we have the airflow. Kind of got that triangle look to it. On a stopper, which is actually pretty nice, so that thing ain't spinning for all eternity. But it's got a pretty good amount of restrictiveness. I'd say it'd be difficult if you had this in your pocket and this thing is like flopping about. I'd say it'd be pretty difficult for the airflow to be moving on its own. Now to fill it, as you can see, this little triangle right here, and you simply just take the very top and you push it. Got a nice, good sized kidney-shaped slot there to fill your tank up. 810 drip tip, it looks like. You got your O-rings there on the drip tip. You got two of them, and it fits pretty snug, actually. It ain't going anywhere. So let's go ahead and take the tank apart. And here is a look at the coil. 0.15, 40 to 80 watts. This is a mesh coil. And you get two of these in the box. Now, one thing that's pretty cool, we've come to find out that all of IJOY's coils are compatible with one another. So if you don't like the mesh, then IJOY more than likely would have a coil that fits your liking, which is pretty nice. And in this kit, you'll get a bubble glass and a straight glass tube. Kind of wish they would include a spare bubble, because that's what everybody's into nowadays, but to each his own. But the bubble glass is what's already pre-installed on the tank itself. So let's take a look underneath the box and see what we got here. Taking off this foam piece right here. Adapter. So remove the box. Open her up. You get a USB cable for charging. You get a warranty booklet, your owner's booklet. You get a 510 drip tip adapter, a vape band to help protect your tank, a spare insert for your fill port, and extra O-rings. Pretty nice. And then, of course, you get a spare coil. Now, these are the same thing, as you can see here. 0.15, 40 to 80. That's the same coil that's already pre-installed in the tank. The juice I'm going to be using to test this tank is going to be Peanut Butter Rocket by Artist Liquids. And as always, with all brand new sub-ohm tanks, you just kind of want to put a little bit in the coil itself just to help get it saturated. Put the tank back together and fill her up. So we're going to let this tank sit for a bit while it all wicks up and everything. So while we're waiting on that, let's go over the Katana mod, shall we? Have the Katana mod, 81 watts, built-in battery. Again, pretty weighty for this thing. Pretty weighty. It's a built-in battery, so it's probably going to have some heft to it. But I gotta say, this thing is tiny in my hand, and it's still, I'd say it's probably about as heavy as like my Captain PD270 was. So, obviously, 5 clicks to turn it on and off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your power up button, power down button, and if you hold the power button down, she obviously goes down. But it's a decent speed. To access the menu, you click the fire button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Here you got your power, temp control, puff reset, exit, P mode, mouth to lung, bypass, pod mode, and power mode again. So basically, just to give you guys a reference, the Katana was originally made as a big kit where you had a dripper, you had a pod system, sub-ohm tank, you had a bunch of stuff to go with it. This is more so them just kind of separating things out and making them separate kits themselves, just in case there's somebody out there who does not want to get the whole thing. So the mod itself still has all of its original settings when it was still the original big kit. So you got mouth to lung mode, goes as high as 15 watts. Obviously bypass mode, which acts as a mech at that point. Pod mode, which goes as high as 3.8 volts. It goes all the way down to 2.5. You got power mode, which is basically just straight power, normal mode, so on and so forth. You got your temp control, which you can do stainless steel, TCR, titanium, and nickel. Just to reset your puff counter. And then P mode, which is another power mode. This allows you to adjust the hit strength. So you got normal, hard, soft, and then we have our exit. But just for the fact that I'm not really a mouth to lung guy, a pod guy, or any of that sort, I'm just going to use the standard power mode. And the coil is rated for 40 to 80, so I'm going to start her out at 40. And there we have the Katana by IJOY. Let's bring her back up to FaceTime and see how this girl vapes. So the IJOY Katana. What do I think about it? I gotta be honest, I'm actually quite impressed with this little device. Mesh coils, as we all know, give off really good flavor. You can get a good amount of cloud with it at a low wattage. Although mesh coils are not my speed, this is probably the best so far as my personal experiences. This has been the best mesh coil I've vaped on yet. Got it at 70 watts. It is coming out to a 0.12, 2.57 volts. I got the airflow set to wide open. The airflow is pretty smooth. I don't feel any turbulence. I don't hear any turbulence at all. I will say though, one thing I found out, let's go about half open. There is kind of a whistle that develops at half open. Still smooth, but there is a definite whistle. Let's take it down to about a quarter. You can probably hear the whistle a lot better through that. Very, very audible whistle. Still though, very smooth airflow. I got it to very smooth all across the board. Flavor's really decent. Getting a really nice throat hit. Getting a good amount of vapor. It's very small, very compact in the hand. I mean, look at that. All you can see is the tank coming out. But again, I'm also a really big guy, so that's not a brain twister right there. Big guy holding a little mod, of course he can hide in his hands. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm actually quite enjoying this. This is probably gonna be more of a travel device for me, though. Probably not something I'd take out with me on a day-to-day basis. But for like traveling, it's probably be a pretty good thing to carry around. That's real skinny. It's got that skinny look to it. I probably would not put this in the pocket. I wouldn't put any mod in your pocket, honestly. That's just the way I feel about that whole thing. Maybe you have a shirt pocket, that'd probably be okay. But for me, I don't put mods in my pockets. But, you know, so I wouldn't recommend it, but it is what it is. Doesn't take too long to charge. I did test out the charging before I came up and started recording this top view. And doesn't take too long to charge. The battery life seems to be pretty decent. It's hitting very, very well. 70 watts, it's actually quite nice. Flavor is very, very good. And I know it's the peanut butter rocket. It's not the same flavor that I vaped in a lot of my other reviews, but I have vaped it quite a bit, so I do know the flavor profile, and I gotta say it's definitely coming off very, very nice in this tank. If I'm going to rate this, obviously it's a review, but I would say I probably give this Katana a 5-star rating, a 2.5 star, maybe a 3. And I'll tell you why. One thing that I don't like about it, but it's subjective, is the fact that it's built-in internal. Now, if the battery decides to crap out on you, you gotta get yourself a whole new setup. It'd been really nice if maybe, as big as this thing is, I could see it being able to put a 21700 or a 2700 at most. If it was interchangeable, it'd be really nice. Built in, it's great to have it built in because you can just plug it in and charge it as you need it. But at the same time, battery craps out, you gotta get yourself a whole new device. So if it had a external battery of a 2700 or a 21700, it'd probably make this that much better. It's still a very nice device, though. It still vapes great. It works. That's the whole goal of it. Does it work? Yes, and it works flawlessly. The buttons are nice and clicky. You hit that button and she immediately starts firing. It's all around, it's a very good setup. So do I recommend this? I would actually recommend this for anybody, if you're from a beginner to someone who's looking for a smaller device to carry around if you're driving a lot or you're traveling. This will be a very good setup to buy. You get good flavor, you get good cloud production, you get pretty decent battery life. So yeah, I do recommend this. Only con I could find, or at least in my opinion, would be if it had a external battery where you could put a 2700 or a 21700 in this, and it probably would have been that much more better. So, very nice device. That's the only con I can find for this, in my opinion. That's the only thing I can find for it. The coils have great flavor. Airflow is pretty good, other than the whistling of the tank when you close it past halfway. Still a nice device. It works. That's the goal, right? If it works, that's all that really matters. So definitely go check this out, guys. These run for about I think I paid for this around $75. I've seen them run between 70 and 80. So feel free to go check this out, guys. Definitely something worth checking out. But all in all, that does it for this video, guys. IJOY, very nice job on this Katana. See you guys in the next video. Monster Man Vapes, signing off.